Hi everybody and welcome back. School is going to be slightly different on your return, so I'm going to give you some information during this quick assembly just so you know exactly what's going on and you know about how to keep yourself and others safe. There will be no assemblies running over the next month or so, so a lot of the key piece of information that the SLT or your heads of year need to give out will come through these video messages. You'll be placed in year group bubbles, and what that means is you won't be coming in regular contact with students that fall outside of your year group. The school day is going to run slightly differently. You're used to having 5 periods in a day. That is going to change. We're going to move to a 3-period day. Some of your lessons will be single lessons, 1 hour, and some of your lessons will be double lessons, which are 2 hours long. Period 1 will always be a single lesson, and period 2 and 3 will always be the double lessons, with your break time and lunch time falling somewhere in between those lessons. You'll get your new school planner. It's really important that you do not write your new timetable into your school planner, as we're hoping this should change over the next month or so when we can move back to our regular school day. Break times, before school, lunch times is all going to change as well. When you come into school in the morning, your year group will have a designated area in which you can go to. That is where you must go. Break times, you will not be on break time at the same time as any other year groups. At break times you'll come to the canteen, get your food, and then from there you'll be moved out onto an area on the field which is your allocated area for your year group. Your break time will finish and another year's break time will start after that. We've had to reduce the length of lunchtime, so lunchtime will no longer be an hour, lunchtime will now be 40 minutes, and certain year groups will be on lunch together, and the lunchtime will be staggered so everybody doesn't have their lunch at the same time. When you're coming over to the canteen to have your lunch, you'll have an allocated time to come, you will have your lunch, and then you'll again move out to your allocated area on the field. Unfortunately, because of the number of students we'll have in certain areas, there will be no ball games at lunchtime, so you won't be able to play football and other games on the field. You must stay within your year group bubble. You're not interacting with other year groups at break times or lunch times. You cannot go near the school building at break times or lunch times. You will be on lunch. There will be other lessons taking place in other areas in the school because certain year groups might not be on lunchtime at the same time as you. So you, like I said, you come to the canteen and then you make your way out onto the field. Keeping yourself safe and keeping others safe. If you have COVID symptoms, then you need to stay at home and you need to get tested. It's as simple as that. When you're in school, you're remembering that you're washing your hands, you're trying not to touch your face, and you're keeping a distance from other students. All students will be required to sanitise their hands when entering the school site and when entering any classroom. Dispense an adequate amount of sanitizer into the palms of your hands. Rub your hands together until the product is completely dry. Pay particular attention to fingertips, fingernails, between your fingers and the backs of your hands. Your lockers. You'll be able to access your lockers 5 minutes before your school day starts and at the end of the day. You cannot access your lockers at any point during the middle of the school day. So your mobile phone will go in there, that will not change, but if you've got PE and you need a bag or you've got your coat with you, you need to carry that with you from lesson to lesson. You must bring your coat, that's absolutely essential. You're going to be spending more time outside at break times and lunch times than you have done previously, so it's so important that you've got it with you. A couple of other things that are going to have changed. During your lessons, all students will be sitting facing the same direction. We'll avoid students facing each other during lesson time. There'll be a one-way system put into the school to ensure that when we're moving around the school site, the traffic's all flowing in the same direction. Continue to walk on the left, be sensible when you're in the corridors, and follow the signs and the directions from the members of staff so that you're flowing correctly with the one-way system. If your classroom has a fire door, then that will be the point in which you enter and leave that classroom. Uniform will remain exactly the same. Sanctions, I don't like to speak too long about sanctions, but there will be various different finishing points for students throughout the school day, but all detentions, irrelevant of your year group, will start at 3 o'clock and there will be no lunchtime detentions running. If you need to see your head of year, a member of the senior leadership team or a pastoral assistant, they will be available in your allocated areas before school, break times and lunch times. You cannot just turn up at student services like you've done previously. The only reason why you would turn up at student services is if you're feeling ill. We made lots and lots of welfare phone calls home to keep in touch with you and see how you were doing. There was lots and lots of communication with students where they were saying they cannot wait to get back to school. You're back, so take full advantage of it and make sure you're keeping yourself and others safe. Have a good week. Thank you. Students will also be required to wipe down their workstation at the start of each lesson. A teacher will spray the desks and the chairs before the students enter the classroom. Students will sanitise their hands on entry and take a piece of tissue which they will use to wipe down their desk and their chair. Teachers will then circulate the room with a bin for the tissues to be disposed into. Students can then re-sanitise their hands again after wiping down their desk if they wish to do so. Students must sanitise their hands when entering the school site, before and after eating, and upon entering a classroom. Students must use the school-provided hand sanitiser. Students can use their own hand sanitiser, but only in addition to the one provided by the school. Remember that washing your hands is better than using hand sanitiser, so please do this as regularly as possible.